Moin. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am Mace, your host on this particular channel of YouTube. And today, well, just a little aside, I'm the best host on the West Coast, coming to you from Vancouver Island in beautiful British Columbia. Today's video, it's an old video posted on YouTube 11 years ago from let's just check it out. It looks like it comes from the golden age of YouTube, simpler times, if you want to put it that way. The title of this YouTuber's video is "What do Germans think of Canada?" It was a question posed to them from one of their viewers. Let's just watch the video and then we'll comment on it. I think it was interesting just reading the comments from a lot of viewers on my reaction to Easy Germans video of what Germans that they surveyed on the streets thought about Canada, and it was quite a, well, let's just say it was quite a, I wouldn't say glamorized version, but it was quite a simple version, and that's only because Canada's a long ways away from Germany, and we're not as crazy or flashy or just the United States media politic really makes its way around the world, whereas the Canadians, not quite so much. Let's get to this.
Coffee is so great. Like, I've been looking for freedom. Good morning, Germany. Get up, get up.
Coffee is so great. Like, I've been looking for freedom. Wait, what?
So great. Like, I've been looking for freedom. Good morning, Germany. Get up, get up. It's time for the weekly video blog, and now it's question time. Hi. So last week I asked for questions about Germany and stuff, and I got a question from YouTube user by the name Salute to Seagulls. I would love to know what that means, salute to seagulls. Well, anyway, his question is, what do Germans think of Canada? Well, that's a very good question. Thank you for your question. And it's a very easy question to answer because we all know David Hasselhoff is Canadian. So, of course.
Wait, David Hasselhoff? I don't think David Hasselhoff is Canadian, but let's look. Yeah, I believe he's American. He's not Canadian. So is this a satirical video? David Hasselhoff. No, he's born in the United States. He's an American. So I think this is like a satirical video. Let's continue though.
Of course, we think very highly of Canadians, right?
Wait, what did he say?
Because we all know David Hasselhoff is Canadian. So of course we think very highly of Canadians, right? No, every important person in America is Canadian. Pamela Anderson is Canadian.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson is, in fact, Canadian. But I think that's a funny statement. Basically, all the important people in America, or what do you say? Important or famous people in America are Canadians, which obviously is not true.
Pamela Anderson is Canadian. William Shatner is Canadian.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey and my personal...
Space. The final frontier.
Jim Carrey and my personal favorite, Paul Schaefer, even though nobody in Germany knows Paul Schaefer, except me, probably.
Paul Schaefer is I believe he's a film director. I didn't know he was Canadian, though. Or is this not? Oh, he's a Canadian singer. Is this? Oh, okay. Paul, yeah, the guy from the late night show. Right, David Letterman. Okay.
Well, anyway, Obama is Canadian. It's because of the health care. Basically, Canadians are like Americans without the bad stuff. You know, they have like a functioning health care system.
To a degree. So this is like that's kind of a very generalized and incorrect statement. Like Canadians are like Americans, but without all the bad stuff. Not entirely true either. But this is obviously like a satirical video. I don't know if he's serious or not. Maybe he is serious, but there are some inconsistencies in some of the things he said. Obviously, calling Hasselhoff a Canadian, where he's not Canadian.
Have like a functioning health care system. They don't kill others.
They don't kill others. Also not true. I think every country, I mean, not every single country. Well, yeah, every single country probably at some point or other killed others. Every single country has dark areas of their pasts, right? Whether it be Germany and the Holocaust and World War II and what happened there, whether it be the United States, their treatment of Native Americans, all of their doings around the world, whether it be the CIA instigating coups around the world, their in Vietnam, their involvement with Iran, their involvement and invasion of Iraq. Like, they got their hands in a lot of bad stuff. Canada, with their treatment of Indigenous peoples here, residential schools, taking children away from Indigenous families and putting them with white families to as the politicians of the time put it, take the Indian out of them, and deal with the quote-unquote Indian problem, is terms that Canadian politicians used at the time. And these residential schools didn't stop operating until the 1990s, which is pretty crazy. And they've since I think it was about 3 years ago now, they found these evidence of mass graves of children from these residential schools that were dying because they were not being taken care of adequately. They were not being fed properly. They were being mistreated, psychologically abused, physically abused, sexually abused. So it's nothing nice about any of it. Canada is just, in the last decade, starting to reckon and deal with it. There's also the Highway of Tears, which is the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, where there's so many of them that they don't even know how many. There's so many of them missing, unaccounted for, and just fallen through the streams. Robert Pickton, the British Columbia Lower Mainland serial killer who killed many dozens of people and wasn't caught for many years and would have been caught much earlier if the police had been applying better resources and being better connected between each other about all of these missing and murdered women and girls. So, just a couple things that aren't too bright.
Schwarzenegger is Canadian. No, seriously, it's just a joke. Of course, the nationality of any person it doesn't matter and doesn't make one better or worse. I had to say that because Americans might get angry if I say that Canadians are better. So that was your question. I'm very happy that I could answer it. Woohoo! Next week there's another video blog. Comment, say your questions. It's click like or share or anything. It's just a little way of saying thanks for your effort, and we'll subscribe to the channel, even though most of it is in German. Doesn't matter. And see you next week. Bye bye.
That was actually a pretty funny video. There's a lot of good satire in there, I feel. And like you said at the end, obviously none of those people are actually Canadians, and the country of origin of a individual doesn't reflect anything about their individual moral goodness or anything inherently. The connection between their country and the person is not always necessarily that important. And then he made a funny satirical phrase or satirical take when he said, but some of the Americans might get mad when I said that Canadians are them, but with without all the bad stuff.
Happy that I could answer it. Woohoo! Next week, the Americans might get angry if I say that Canadians are better.
He says Americans might get angry if I say Canadians are better.
So that was.
I mean, there's truth in a lot of stereotypes and a lot of cliche. So, funny video. Seems to be satirical and quite tongue-in-cheek. I got a kick out of it. Gave us something to talk about for a few minutes. Just a low-key video this morning for the channel. All right, and we will see you guys on the next one. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen. Later. Adios. Bye-bye. Paalam. Peace. Yeah. That's it. Video's over. You can go home. No, yeah, there'll be a lot of videos coming, so don't worry. I will be here. Yes.